Alex the Great Volkanovski. I don't know why I always pronounce his name wrong, but he's the new champion, or not the new champion. He's the champion again. Can you believe that? I can barely believe it myself. I'm so happy about it. I can't believe. First off, that was an amazing event, and I'm just so happy that he's a champion again. I can't, like, it's surreal. The feeling's surreal that he's actually the champion. I can't believe it. And bro, the fight was so good. It was like a back and forth war. It was amazing. Diego Lopez, credit to him, bro. He was an amazing fighter. Like, he put on a fight. I think I give Volk all four out of the 5 rounds. That's how good he was. It's crazy to think about. After coming back from 2 knockout losses, he's on top of the game now, and he's back as a champion. It's crazy, and I'm so excited because now we can see a bunch of new fresh matchups. Not to say that we wouldn't have seen it with Diego Lopez being the champion, but regardless, point is, I'm so happy that he's the champion. I'm so excited. Like, it's surreal, as I said earlier. But I want to go over the whole event, just the main card, not the prelims, because I barely know any of the fighters on the prelims. To start off, we have Dominick Reyes. He opened up the card by sleeping Krylov. Bro, you don't understand how freaking amped I am that Dominick Reyes is back in the win column. He's on a 3-fight winning streak, and he's back. He's finally back. Ever since he beat John Jones, he's been on a downward cycle. They robbed him from the win against John Jones, which to this day, it genuinely irks me that happened. Then he kind of had this like downward spiral of he got slapped by Stipe, then he got slapped by Yuri. But now he's back. He's on a 3-fight win streak. Lots of people thought he was going to lose to Krylov, but he knocked him out, and bro, he knocked him out in the first round. I'm just so happy. So what do I think is next for Dominick Reyes? I really want him to fight like maybe once, twice more, and then go for the title. I think next he should fight, if not Rakic, Stipe for the second time. But I like the Rakic fight just because it's fresh, it's new, it's something we haven't seen before. And if he beats someone like Rakic, maybe he fights one more fight before getting the title, or just give him the title right away. Regardless, I think that'd be a great fight, because right now for the lightweight title, we have Magomed, who's the champion, and he's gonna fight Alex. So the thing is, if Alex wins, I don't think they'll give Magomed the rematch if Alex wins, but regardless of who wins that fight, if Dominick Reyes can maybe win 1 or 2 more times, I truly believe he can go fight for the title. And low-key, I really want him to be the champion that he deserves to be, because he was the only person to beat John Jones. So I would love to see that matchup. So for the second fight, we saw Bryce Mitchell versus Gene Silva. You know, I really wanted Bryce to win this match. I wanted to do it just for the memes. I thought if Bryce win, it would have just made him that much more popular, that much more famous. It just would have been fun. It would have been hilarious. But he lost in the second round against Gene Silva. He got submitted, which is ironic because Gene Silva is the predominant striker. So it's crazy. It was crazy to see that. But you know what's interesting is that there's this whole fight. I don't know, bro. He's like, I don't want to say he seemed off, but it was almost like he was hesitant to do anything. Obviously, he didn't want to strike with Gene Silva because Gene Silva is just that good of a striker. So he's trying to take him down. But apparently, Gene Silva has underrated takedown defense because he was not letting Bryce do anything on the ground. And it got to the point where eventually Bryce tired himself out, failing takedown after takedown, and then he got submitted. So Gene Silva won. Cool, I guess. I'm not a big fan of Gene just because of, I don't know. I mean, he has his own personality. He's not your typical UFC fighter who, you know, is generic on mic, and then when he gets in the fight, he fights and then he's back to being generic. Like, he has his own personality, but he's not my favorite fighter, I'll tell you that much. I wanted Bryce Mitchell to win, but I thought it was a good fight regardless, and it was pretty cool seeing Gene win. Who do I think Gene should fight next? That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, oh, you know what? You know what would be a good fight? Gene Silva versus either Yair. No, not Yair. I think Yair should fight Lopez. I think that's a perfect match, especially since with their beef they had during the press conference. That was very unexpected. I think that'd be a good fight, but I think Gene should fight Aljamain. I think that's it. I think Gene should fight Aljamain. That'll be a perfect fight. Aljamain's coming off of a loss. Gene's coming off of a win, but Gene's also he just got in the top 10. Aljamain is he's a former champ. He lost to Motar, who should be fighting for the title next. So I think that's a perfect matchup. We should have those two fight. We should have Lopez and Yair fight. We should have Evloev fight Volkanovski for the title. I think those 3 matchups should happen for the division. I think those are really good matchups that Dana should definitely make. After the Bryce Mitchell Gene Silva fight, we got Yair Rodriguez versus Pitbull. Patricio Pitbull, actually, that's his full name. But it was just a one-sided beatdown to an extent. Like, Yair was just, he won all 3 rounds, and you know, for Pitbull, for being a 2-time champion in Bellator, he had a good fight, but we saw it through the fight that there was levels to it, and Yair, it was just dominating him the whole time. It was just a striking masterclass. Pitbull did have some moments of success. I mean, there was a couple times where he landed a good, you know, punch or kick, but it was nothing crazy. It was just like he didn't do anything significant in that fight for him to even have an argument to win. It was pretty obvious at the end fight that Yair won. And after Yair winning, I really do believe that he should fight Lopez. Since Lopez lost, and we'll get to that later, since he lost to Volk, though, it just makes perfect sense that they fight each other. Like, who else would you book? Like, you have beef going on. There's a story there. The one's coming off of a win after losing. One's coming off of a loss after winning. So it's just like the perfect match. I think it would be hella entertaining. Plus, they're really good. Both of them are predominant strikers. It would be very entertaining to watch. And then for Pitbull, I don't know. He's new to the UFC. This was his debut fight, so I don't know who would fight next. But regardless, I think he could fight, I don't know, someone in the higher top 10. But moving on, the co-main event, we saw Paddy Pimblett versus Michael Chandler, and you know what? This was insane. This fight was freaking insane. I did not expect that from Paddy Pimblett. I thought he was gonna get I don't think he was gonna get dominated. I just didn't. There was no world where I would have saw Paddy Pimblett winning, let alone dominating Michael Chandler. Because we see Michael Chandler, like, yes, he loses. He's like what, 2-4, 2-5 now in the UFC, but he goes up against the best of the best, right? You almost beat Charles Oliveira for his title, and you know he has these wars with Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, like all these guys, right? So the fact that someone like Paddy Pimblett goes in and just dominates him, it's crazy to me. Like, it's actually insane. He destroyed Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler didn't do anything to him. He literally did not stand a chance. It was like the champion fighting a number unranked someone. That's how dominant the fight was. It was like Ilya Topor versus Josh Emmett, where it was 50 to 45. That's how dominant it was. It was insane. He was just beating him everywhere, on the field, on the ground, everywhere. And it's crazy how much Paddy Pimblett has elevated in terms of fighting and skill. And then now he's a legit contender at lightweight. You give him one more win against someone like Charles or Dustin or Justin Gaethje, even though I wouldn't want to see a Justin Gaethje matchup. I think Justin should fight Armin for the #1 contender ship. But I think if Paddy fights someone like Charles or Dustin and wins and beats those guys, he's 100% should fight for the title. I think that'd be a great fight, and I really do think Paddy Pimblett has cemented himself as like one of the top lightweight guys in the world right now. And then finally, for the main event, we had Alexander the Great Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez. Man, I'm so amped that he got his title back. First off, I was on the edge of my seat throughout this whole fight. This fight was genuinely one of the best fights I've seen in my life. It was so good. Like, credit to Diego Lopez. That guy is a monster. He's a beast. He was just going at Volkanovski the whole time, and the fact that he's the champion again now, it's peace has been restored, you know. Life is good, you know. And I just, like, I can't, like, I don't know, I can't get over the fight. It was so surreal. But to get into the actual fight, we had, so the first round, I gave 4 out of the 5 rounds to Volk, and although he was up on the rounds, it was a very close fight. Like, Volk won the rounds that he won just by throwing a little bit more, by having more volume than Diego Lopez was. Although it looked like he was doing more damage, because he kept the right eye and the left eye of Volkanovski, and apparently Volk was like blind for majority of the fight in his left eye. Only got his vision back like halfway through the fight, in the later half anyways, which was crazy. I mean, if you look at Volk after the fight, he looked like a mess, dude. He had cuts all over his faces, he had purple eyes. It was crazy. But I gave the first round to Volk. The second round, I still gave it to Volk, even though towards the end of the round he almost got like knocked out. He got hurt really badly by right hand on him. I think it was right hand towards the end of the round. But I still give it to Volk just because he did more throughout that round than Lopez did. And then the third round I gave it to Volk. It wasn't until the fourth round where I gave it to Lopez, and then the fifth round I gave it to Volk. Although I'm pretty sure that you could argue that Lopez won the fifth, because towards the end Lopez did just throw in everything he could, so it made it a lot closer. But it was a good fight. It was a back and forth war. Like, both fighters were going at it. You know, it was interesting is Volk didn't look like an old man, or he didn't look different. He looked like his prime self almost. I'm really glad that he got his championship back. And what's next for Alexander Volkanovski? I really do think he should, well, I know he should fight Evloev. I know he should fight Evloev just because who else would he fight? Like, Evloev is the most deserving. He's undefeated. Who did he last beat? Aljamain Sterling, who was a former champ, who's in the top 10. He beat Diego Lopez, who just fought for the title, right? He's beating all these guys. He should be next in the title. There should be no argument. And then for Lopez, I think Lopez should fight Yair. That just makes the most sense, just because him and Yair have beef. There's a storyline there, and also Yair is coming off a win. Lopez is coming off a loss. It just makes the most sense. But all around, this UFC card was great. What do you guys think? Are you guys hyped that Alex got his belt back? I'm so amped. I'm so glad, and I'm excited to see him defend his title, or just to fight as a champion again. That's gonna be fun to see, and I really appreciate you guys watching this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.